A lot of times it'll encourage that licking and chewing. He kind of seems to be pretty good about it. He seems to be thinking a lot. I think it's just because he's an intelligent horse, but he seems to be pretty animated and thinking whether you help him reset his feet or not. But a lot of horses, like if they're really scared, a lot of horses have a hard time just breathing enough to think. I mean, it's like they just like get so uptight and not okay with the situation that they completely forget those things like breathing and blinking and swallowing. And so he's kind of thinking he'd rather be looking at that cow. And again, I'm not pulling back on him. My hand stays exactly the same. I'm just kind of tapping that rib cage to remind him, no, that doesn't matter. When you start getting a more polished, soft feel on him too, I'll tell you this because I learned this one the hard way. I had a Mustang mare that I was starting a couple years ago, and she was just kind of a blundering fool. I mean, she was just big and heavy and just awkward about everything. And she was so good about getting soft in her face, but I really wanted to encourage and capitalize on that so I could get a soft feel through sliding stops.
Mm-hmm.
And I would throw the reins back to her, and I blew her mind. I mean, she just like she would feel me there, like holding her hand, and then I would let go too quickly, and she just felt like she was dropped. So she got really bad about dropping her head and bouncing it.
Oh.
So when you start doing that, just keep a balance. I mean, I'm not saying you release too slowly either, but just make sure you're not throwing the reins back at your horse and blowing their mind, because that sucked. I mean, that was a good learning curve for me, you know. It took a lot of time just helping her figure it out and everything. She got there. It helped a lot when I switched the bit I rode her with, but yeah, I didn't know. He's getting it. Do you see these changes where he's doing less with his feet, and now he's kind of like shaking his head? He's like, I know there's a spot in there. I know it. So that's a good deal. He's figuring it out. He just hasn't truly figured out the soft spot is to give. There's also, right now, he hasn't really kind of given it. He's right there. That was an actual give. The first couple times right there, he was just going down. That's a start, though. Again, I mean, you have to be careful how much you reward a start versus the actual thing you're looking for, because you can teach him the wrong thing pretty quickly. Go to stop him again. See if he can kind of get that on his own. Come and check my foot. See those changes? Big deal. Reset his feet, because that was a really good one. Getting him to give his head like that too, it's a start to teaching him to just carry himself really rounded, and where he walks, pretty level and pretty flat backed and everything. It's going to be a good deal. The more you can get him, and I'm not talking like you get him to just give his chin. I'm talking you get him to give his chin and arch his neck a little and carry himself. All of those things are going to be a big deal, because you'll strengthen his entire top line and teach him to carry as opposed to just slumping along and get sway back, you know? If you can get him to really kind of start from a really early stage in this whole riding thing to actually carry you, it'll teach him to carry himself. It'll teach him, I mean, you'll save him from a lot of back problems in the long run. Because some of them just don't naturally do it. Sonny doesn't naturally carry somebody. He naturally just kind of slunks along, and I kind of like hang there in the middle of his back, you know? So it's really important to set this foundation as early as you can. There, that was really nice. You see how good that was? That was a good deal. So that you know, help alleviate physical problems. So again, I don't want to pull harder on his head. I just want to set it to such an angle that he really can't just pull the line away from me. It's a rein. It's a line when you drive. It's a rein in this.
It's okay. We knew what you were talking about.
Yeah. That's really nice. That's really nice. I was going to step off there, but it feels like his hind end isn't quite squared up. Like he's just a little wobble. There, that feels a lot more sturdy. So then I'll wobble